was using an example 10 minutes ago that I use in class a lot of the water bottle, right? So if I hold this electrolyte bottle up, it is 828 mils, right? Why 828 mils? Because that's 28 ounces. I'm in the US. This would probably just be a liter bottle over where you are. But what happens if I'm super thirsty and I want to fit 40 ounces, a liter and a half in this bottle? Because I'm thirsty. What happens? Well, it just all overflows and goes onto the floor. Well, that's a lot like not having the context of what you need to train for adaptations, right? So if my strength and hypertrophy jug is already full, doing more in strength and hypertrophy work just overflows, and you do not see a further improvement in sport. You need to change up your exercises. And to borrow from Anatoly Bondarchuk's terminology, you got your more intensive exercise classification. Maybe you need a special developmental exercise or a special preparatory exercise or the competitive exercise to further facilitate things. We just have to pay attention and know that just because your squat went up doesn't mean that you're a better athlete. What are the KPIs of the sport? Maybe it's sprint time, speed, maybe it's sprint momentum, change of direction ability, jumping height, for volleyball and basketball. Whatever those KPIs happen to be, that's what you need to look at and see, is that changing? Is my training improving those things? And if it's not, what am I doing? We're also looking at the decrease of injury risk. I'm not going to say that, that's not valuable towards performance, since the greatest ability is available. So yeah, if you're not seeing a reduction in injury rates or improvements in KPIs, I think that I'm not going to say that the training was meaningless, but it definitely has a decreased value in comparison to what I think could be.
Sort of touched on the Italian Strength and Conditioning Society with you. So I've done a couple speaking engagements for them, and I have this slide where we talk about bucket filling and do we need all the buckets filled?
I don't think you do.
Depends on the sport. Like some sports might need a bit higher speed, or other sports might need a bit decreased and increased strength. Like and again, we can go individual. Like, what's your athlete's position? What's the role within the team? I have this great brain teaser in one of my presentations, and it's like, do you need to make any considerations if your athlete needs to, or like your athlete's a natural shit talker during the performance? They're going to need a little bit more cardio, because if they're going to keep that up for 90, 80 minutes, they're going to be a little bit fitter.
You got to have the one to be able to talk smack. Dude, I know I talk smack all day, but then again, my fitness is crap. It reminded me a lot about a paper right now by Baker and Dan Baker, a really good friend of mine down at, well, now he's in Bali. He used to be in Australia. And Rob Newton, the Rob Newton, kind of like the Bill Kramer. Well, they were mentioning in there that for the bigger positions, unfortunately, I'm not a rugby guy. I didn't grow up playing it, so I will mess up. So the guys in the scrum, your props and whatever those guys are.
Prop, hooker, prop.
Yeah, right. Okay, so with those guys, it was not the speed of the individual, but the bigger individuals who were just as fast that were the better players. Now, that same thing did not happen for the winger? Is that the last fast little dude? Just sprint his ass off. So for that position, it was just speed. So even on the same sport, and American football is no different. Basketball is no different. That each position is going to have individual demands. And if you try and train everybody the same way, some people are getting what they need. Some people are getting stuff that's going to make them worse. Because if I start throwing weight on that winger and slow him down, even though his momentum is higher, his ability to get from point A to point B, which is actually the most important thing for him, has gone down. So he ends up being a worse player.